7-0? What is it?
Oh, 7-0.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, so,
All right.
here we go. You want to sit around the table?
Traditional Dodger. Most shops in the United States, when they do, they don't really make a clear distinction between a California Dodger, which has a squarer frame, more like conventional boat tops, 10-inch radius, corners, crown, and all like that. And then you have the side curtains, of course, zip off. You've got more visibility, more room. It's a bigger frame. More ventilation because you can take the side curtains off. But around New England, there's a lot of boats that people want to be able to fold their Dodgers. They want to be able to, they want it to fit the look of the boat. And the only way you can really get that, by definition, a traditional Dodger should be an almost fully rounded frame rather than a square frame. And that's what we're going to make here using my elaborate wooden jig and everything else. It's nothing really fancy. It's not rocket science. You will waste some steel. Unlike Jeff's wonderful program that eliminates the wastage of steel, you'll make it up on traditional Dodgers. Because you have to have, even with a, you'll see we're going to put a steel bar in here to give us more leverage when we're bending it. You need to have the legs a little bit on the long side. So if you have short legs, you got to make the legs intentionally longer, and then after you bend them, you cut them to size.
For the mechanical advantage that you need.
Right, right. And you need, when you're doing this, you cannot do it with 045 wall. You need to have 065 wall stainless. Okay. The 045, because we don't have a, they call it the edge of the bind. We don't have it routed like it is. It's just flat plywood.
Oh, is it?
So in order not to distort the edge or crinkle the edge, you really need to have the 065 wall. That's kind of important. And we make it so we can, I was looking around for a while and I was thinking that I would get a, some kind of a specialized 18-inch. There's really nothing out there that's 18-inch that I've been able to find that would be within the kind of price that I'd want to pay. So I was going to scrap what I had here, and then I said, you know what, I'm just going to keep it going because I probably only do about 3 or 4 a season.
Yeah, I was going to say 2 or 3 even. And sometimes none, every once in a while. It seems to go by without.
I don't know, we seem to do at least one every year. At least one, probably more.
And it just doesn't justify spending a fortune.
But the thing is, first and foremost, in the United States, there's, I forget what they said it was, like the number of fabricators, but it's not a lot. And they're mostly smaller shops, just because of the labor and how specialized the trade we do is. So most of your shops are 1, 2, and 3 people operations. A lot of them are working out of their houses and stuff, and a lot of them will not deal with sailors or sailboats. So if you're doing sailboats and biminis and stuff like that for sailboats, you have an advantage over everybody else. But if you want even a further advantage, you learn how to build a traditional New England style Dodger correctly. A traditional Dodger built on a 10-inch frame doesn't look right. You know, it needs to have removable sides. And the whole reason that the California Dodger came of age is because people didn't want to bend 18-inch radiuses. They wanted to use the bend arc and the crown arc, and they wanted to use the same frame equipment that they use for bending their boat tops and everything with a 10-inch radius, and that lends itself to the California style. And I think that's the way it came about, because the California Dodger is basically a convertible top, if you think about it, with side curtains on a smaller scale, right? So if you can do a traditional Dodger, and there's a few advantages to traditional Dodgers. You can open a traditional Dodger up quite a bit. You can put the football panel that's on the top, so it looks like it's actually shaped like a football because all the seams follow the bows, right? So with that, you can put windows in the lower football area. You can put windows in the wings that go on it. You can bring the windows around the side, and you can break it up with what we call a crunch zone. And I'll show you the picture of what I'm talking about. But it's an area without any glass in it on the corner of the Dodger. If you don't put that in there and they're folding the Dodger a lot, you're gonna damage the window. Because it needs to have a give point, otherwise you're gonna push a little point into the glass and it's gonna damage the glass, okay?
Everybody here took our, except for Sarah, took our Dodger
I think
class.
she got a
No?
experience.
You
I
did?
took it.
Okay. And Marla, you took our Dodger class and you guys were here. You pulled the two Dodgers.
Yeah, most traditional Dodgers get folded.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's.
You know, it's funny, you talk to people and they want to have their Dodger folded, but if you ask them when was the last time you folded the Dodger, they can't remember. So, yeah, but in England, they really fold their Dodgers a lot. And I mean, a lot of the old swamp Yankees in New England, they like to fold their Dodgers.
We have a traditional.
We have a traditional, and every time we can fold our Dodger, we fold it.
Yeah, we mostly just roll it up. I don't want to get wet.
Well, we roll it up, but if it's a nice day, I don't want the Dodger there. I'd rather just have the air. And that's everybody else. So, I assume everybody knows the difference between the California and the traditional, right?
Well, zip off side curtains versus all one
Well, I got
piece.
pictures in here. One of them's blocked by a TV, but